Hi, I'm Alec Franklor, and I am here to talk to you about my interactive art piece called Touch Talking. It is a piece that was made as part of when I was studying hot glass at San Jose State University, and it includes, of course, hand-blown hot glass and electronics. The piece is called Touch Talking. So the theme of this evening is connection. And of the many ways that we were able to connect with one another, touch is possibly the most powerful one. So you're probably wondering why I'm talking about hand-blown glass and electronics, but this all has to do with connection. And you're probably going to be further confused about the fact that I'm going to be talking a little bit about electricity, but it's the basis of the piece and it will all come back to connection. So, electricity is everywhere. Some good examples might be, you remember this guy? Yeah, so when we talk on the phone, right, it creates electrical pulses that go over the phone lines and create communication. More modern example, when we type on the keyboard, it sends electrical pulses to the computer and therefore creates communication. Cell phone. So what happens with this is that when our personal electrical signal passes through touch, through the glass, it actually changes the capacitance of the device, and that's how the device works. It is our electrical signal coming through to touch the device that makes it work. If you were to try and touch it with something plastic, nothing happens, right? It's only when we have good quality connection that happens. But it's not just in technology. Electricity is everywhere, and the electrical signals running through our bodies. So it is the basis of truly everything. Our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, even the beating of our own hearts is generated through the electrical signals that are occurring within our bodies. So that's electricity. Now let's go on to talk about touch. So touch is said to be the first sense that is developed within humans. And it is so vital to our experience that infants who are deprived of physical touch actually die. It's a condition referred to as non-organic failure to thrive. And it's so important that in hospitals for infants that are unable to be held by their parents, the hospitals will actually employ volunteers called baby cuddlers to be able to hold the baby and give the infant that experience of touch and connection to other humans. So this piece that we're about to see, again, is called Touch Talking, and it's about the electricity in our human bodies and how it is able to transfer to those we touch and therefore create a deep sense of communication and connection. So this is the physical piece made from the hand-blown hot glass and the electronics. So as you can see, around the globes, there are two metal wires on each side, and that creates an open circuit. And the globes are close enough to each other within the piece that they're actually able to touch. When you touch one side, nothing happens because the circuit remains open. But when one person takes one hand and touches one side and one hand to touch the other side, through their body, they are able to send that electrical pulse and therefore complete the connection, and you will see that the piece will light up slightly and also make a sound. Now let's see what happens when two people try and interact with this and what happens through their power of touch. When one person independently touches one side and another person independently touches the other side, does that create the connection? Or when they actually connect and touch, is that when the magic happens? I've had about 20 people holding hands, completing this circuit within the same room, creating a lot of magic, a lot of laughter. I do believe that there is no limit to the amount of people that you can actually put into circuit with one another in a group to close that circuit and to make it light up and make sound. If we were there all tonight together, we would be able to do this as a group and experience that for ourselves. But the reason why I wanted to include this touch talking piece into tonight's theme of connection is because even though we are able to, during this time of social distancing, use these other ways to connect and communicate through video calls and phone calls, we're missing a really vital part of what it is to be human and the way that we are able to connect and truly communicate. So I guess my request is that while we are using these virtual devices, these other ways to communicate, to really be aware that of what it is that you're missing, and therefore choose to dive more deeply into these conversations that you're having, knowing that you're missing a really vital part of what it is to be human and to connect. So remove the distractions during your conversations and really focus on who it is you're speaking with. And that hopefully will help mitigate the loss of this most vital ability to communicate through touch.